April Cook, Adult Health 1, Section 2, NG insertion and irrigation. This is my patient. I've checked the physician's order. NG insertion for the patient has been had nausea and vomiting. I'm going to insert it for that, and also feeding. Initially, I'm going to check if they have any allergies to food or medication or latex. My client does not. I'm going to educate him about the procedure, and I make sure that I have to check the armband, make sure I have the right patient. I have the MAR. This is the correct patient, and this is the correct placement, route, tubing. Everything is correct. Initially, I'm going to ask my patient if he's ever had a broken nose. He says no, he's never had a broken nose. I'm going to check the nares if there's any deviation of the septum with my pen light. There's no deviation of the septum here. So the nares look patent, and they're ready to be, they're ready to have a G2 placement, NG2 placement. Initially, I am going to measure the amount that I need for my tube. I'm going from the tip of the nose, around the lobe, and down to the xiphoid process. I'm going to place a piece of tape so that I know how far I'm going to insert the NG2. Next, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm going to insert my gloves. I'm going to take the tip of my NG tube and lubricate that about 4 inches. Now I'm ready to begin my procedure. I'm going to insert my NG tube. Once I hit resistance, I'm going to check in the back of the mouth for any coiling. There's no coiling with Mr. Jones, so I'm going to continue to proceed, having him tilt his head forward and initiate the swallow reflex. At any point if my client starts gagging, I am going to stop, let them gain their composure, and then proceed. Alright, I'm at my piece of tape, so I know that that's as far as I need to go. Now I need to check placement. I'm going to aspirate for some gastric secretions, and then later on have a chest x-ray to verify if I get positive gastric content. I'm going to take a general piece of tape to secure to the patient's face, and now I am going to pull back on my syringe, and while I'm pulling back, I'm going to be listening. I'm going to be listening to listen to the stomach for a swishing sound. I'm going to pull back. I have a positive secretion. I'm going to go ahead and test the pH. Alright, I've tested the pH. It is gastric secretions. I'm going to go ahead and insert while I'm listening. Okay. Now I'm going to take this off. I'm in the correct place. I'm going to take the tip and place it in a towel just in case I have any leakage. I'm going to take a Y-shaped tubing, and I'm going to tie it around and anchor it to the bridge of the nose. Alright, like that. Then I'm going to take a rubber band and a paper clip. A safety pin, and then go ahead and do a little slip knot, and then secure this to the patient's gown, giving them room to move their head so they don't feel so restricted. I'm going to give them some room to move their head. Go ahead and do that. Alright, I have secured. Now I'm going to attach the end of my tubing to low intermittent therapeutic suction. I've attached that. I'm going to document the time, the placement, where it was placed. I could differentiate between the different nares, how the patient tolerated it, and have my patients make sure they don't pull and watch my piece of tape, knowing how far I've gone in there. Okay, document how they tolerated it, and the time that it was placed, and the amount of suction that I have it on. Okay. Next, I'm going to do NG irrigation. My patient already has an NG2 placed. Initially, I'm going to remove my tube from the low intermittent therapeutic suction, and I am going to aspirate, checking for placement to see if I have gastric juice pull back, and I'm going to reinsert these and listen while I'm reinserting with my stethoscope. I'm reinserting and listening with my stethoscope. I hear a gargling shushing noise. Next, I'm going to take 30 mLs of water. I'm going to place my tubing in a towel so that I don't have any leakage on my patient. I'm going to pull back, insert 30 mLs of water. Attaching my 30 mLs of water, I'm going to insert this, my 30 mLs, and then I'm going to pull back. In the event that I get more than 30 mLs, that's fine. I want to pull off whatever on my client's stomach. That might be the cause of their nausea and vomiting. Go ahead and pull this back, and I'm going to disconnect. Take this, verify how much I pulled back, documented the integrity of and the characteristic of the juices that I've extracted, the volume, how my patient tolerated, the time, my name and initial, and the date. I'm going to go ahead and discard the gastric juices there, and then I'm going to hook my patient back up to the low therapeutic